easy Friday, honestly. And like yourself, I just want to take full advantage of them while they're nice and a day of ease.
Exactly. Enjoy it while you
take
can.
yes, take full advantage of these easy Fridays.
No,
All right, we're on
that's right.
Instagram and YouTube. All right, we have viewers already. Perfect. We will get started. Hey, Soul Squad. We know y'all showed up expecting a great conversation, and you have one tonight. We are joined by the dynamic founder of Jim Social App tonight. I am your host, Brittany, and I'm joined by my wonderful sister.
And I am B. I am your lovely co-host of Sister Soul Sessions Live. And
Mhm.
we also wanted to jump into introducing our guest. Brittany, did you want to go ahead with the intro?
Of course. Just want to welcome everybody back to Sister Soul Sessions, where we elevate entrepreneurs one soulful conversation at a time. And tonight we're turning the volume
Mhm.
all the way up because we have a visionary in the building tonight.
Whoop, whoop. So she's a powerhouse in tech. Not only that, she's a connector of brands and creatives. She's a boss
Mhm.
who didn't wait for a seat at the table, and she built the entire ad.
You guys have seen her platform making waves. Jim
Oh, that
Social
sounds
is
so
changing how
familiar. That
brands
must be
and
me.
influencers, yes, building Influencers Connect campaign and cash in. And tonight you get to hear the story straight from the source.
So I need all of you for tap in, tag your people, get your notes ready, and because we are live now with none other than the founder of the Gym Social app, and her name is Brianna Flemings. So here she is. Did you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Thank you. You guys are really nice. Like, well, now you guys making my Friday.
Good,
But it's
good.
nice to meet you guys. That's like such a great introduction. But yeah, like I'm the founder and CEO of Gem. I started building Gem about now 3 years ago. And originally it was just like a creator matching app because I was one of those creators who had moved state to state and was always looking for connections. And I had recognized that I had built the app a little backwards. So I ended up reconstructing the platform. So brands could find the creators that they needed, and then we ended up pivoting into influencer marketplace because we have we had several categories, but the number one category was influencer marketing and just finding influencers for brands to do like UGC or promoting an event or capturing a piece of content. Like just so many brand ambassadors, like there's just so many reasons to use influencers and build a relationship with them. And then influencers are always looking for opportunities, so we were just like helping one brand at a time and helping one influencer at a time. So it was worked out very, very well. And I would say in the last month we quadrupled our revenue as a platform, and just really refined a lot of new features in the platform that really helped us find product market fit. So it's just been a really great journey. And I'm really excited to share my story and pretty much anything anybody wants to hear, really. I'm a yapper.
We love to hear it. And thank
Love
you so
it,
much for
right?
joining us tonight. Yes, that is amazing. So I know that you have your master's in app development. What kind of inspired
Mhm.
you to build Gym Social? Was there like a defining moment that like kind of sparked the idea of like it
Yeah.
being social media and content creators?
Yes, it was being a recession proof business. During COVID, I was a DJ in the past. I've always been in tech, but I've also always been like in music in some way, shape, or form. And I was DJing up until COVID happened, and I had lost like $30,000 in booking revenue because,
Ooh.
as you can imagine, I had to be on site for these gigs, but a lot of clubs shut down, lounges, restaurants, etc. So I lost almost all my gigs. I think two of them ended up going virtual, but even then, like a virtual DJ, please. So I
Yeah.
just ended up I just ended up pivoting because even though I didn't have DJ gigs, I did start landing um brand gigs, brand partnerships with like random companies, like pillow companies wanted to send stuff, book bags, whatever it may be. And I was like, okay, wait a minute, like influencers are still making money
Yeah.
during COVID because we're more online than ever now. And
Mhm.
I thought in my head, like, wow, that's so interesting. Like, so I learned more about being an influencer myself. And I also had experienced it as a brand in the past who booked influencers, because when I lived in Miami, I used to work for one of the number one marketing agencies in Aventura, which is like a really rich part of Miami.
Yeah.
And I had to work with a lot of the influencer partnerships and optimizing people's landing pages and just ensuring that even once an influencer would like help blow up a brand, that the website was actually able to convert into a sale. So I had a lot of experience in it. I just didn't really realize how much I could apply it to small businesses as well. So the point of the platform now, and where it's at now, it's in its maturity, is for anybody to come on the platform and feel guided to find the right influencer. And that the goal is like for someone to not even feel like they need to know about influencer marketing to utilize the platform. So we're trying to make it super easy and a super easy lift for people to find the right influencers, because there's over 400 million influencers in our database alone with what we built. And then the goal is, okay, how do you filter it down to what you need for your own
Right.
business? So if you're a wellness brand, then we should be capturing that information up front and spitting out influencers in that space that's in your budget for the month. So the every single month we look for ways to like keep being like, better and better for brands to find the right influencers. And then we don't really even have to do outreach to influencers anymore to get on the platform, because once they reach out to the influencer through the platform, they get invited onto Gem Social to accept the collaboration. So in a way, a brand is also promoting us some way somehow, because they're sending out
Yeah.
the invitation for the collaboration through our platform. So that's also easy lift on our end. So we're making money from the subscription from the brand side, but we're also making money from the transaction fee of the collaboration.
That is
Hmm.
amazing. We actually downloaded
Yeah.
as well. And even with your form in the beginning, it is very in depth, very intuitive, easy to use, and you
Mhm.
actually know what you're getting into. 'Cause that's what I was afraid of at first. My
Yeah.
first thought was like, wait, are we a brand? Are we creator? Like,
We're
what
trying
do
to
we
figure it
do?
out.
Yeah.
Right.
And then I was like, oh, it says podcaster. Like, you made a lot of different avenues for everyone to connect and really grow their brand. So it is amazing.
Yeah.
Again, we're going to be promoting it all night because it is a great
Mhm.
way to really get your brand and your creativity out there, especially as creatives. Because I always wondered, we do see them online, but it was like outside of a
Right.
brand is reaching you with you building up, your millions of followers. Like, how are you really
Yeah.
booking these gigs?
Mhm.
So I love that you
Yeah.
actually put that in place. Now I know Jim
Yeah. And
promotes
how are you
itself
finding
as
like more partnerships?
yes, no,
Yeah.
for
And
sure,
the goal is always to like see like how you find more partnerships, because you also like, even though like, okay, like this is a podcast, right? So you can have
Yeah.
a brand account, right, inviting
hmm
other people in the space that you want on here, but
right?
you also can have a creator account as a podcast, because you can also pair up with
Ooh.
other brands that might be looking for podcasts to get their brand out there, right, for brand
hmm
awareness. So that could be tech, that could be a lot of the ones right now that are looking for podcasters. It's like the tech ones, we have a tech conference looking for influencers in all kinds of spaces. So I can even connect y'all with like Black Women Talk Tech, because they might
Yes,
just
ma'am.
want a little shout out and something,
Right.
and they'll give you tickets. So like the goal is for everybody to be able
Yes.
to partner with somebody, in this space, because you never know where that partnership can take you.
No.
Everybody get to eat at the end of the day.
Yeah,
So
nobody's
that's
missing out on money.
cool.
Like,
hmm
like
And the fact that you can set up your budget if you are a brand looking for influencers, everyone already knows up front, like, this is what I'm looking for, this is how much, and it's just all in one.
you right.
And I know, yeah, so Gem promotes itself as an all in one platform where brands can find influencers who converts collaborations kind of seamlessly and track real results. Can you walk us through how these work together to support successful campaigns on the app?
Yeah. Yeah. So when I say like, it's like a one-stop shop, because when you have a campaign, you need to be able to do a few things. Like you need to be able to source the talent. So we already have that database set up where you have
Right.
enough analytics and data to see if this is a good opportunity, a good person to work with. Their engagement rate, their following, a suggested rate that we use our own personal formula to create these rates. We also have templates on there, so that way you can choose a template to reach out to them for a gifted campaign, a paid campaign, a affiliate
Mm,
campaign. So we're doing a lot of heavy lifting for you just on outreach side. And then outside of that, you can track the people you've reached out to. So that way, if you need to follow up with anybody, you can do that as well. Then when a creator actually wants to accept or deny the campaign, we have those notifications and features in place. So that way you can see when somebody accepted it, and you'll be prompted to pay if they accepted it. And that's only if it's a paid collaboration. Otherwise, you can just keep continuing if it's like a gifted or affiliate collaboration, right? And then after that, we have an order management system. So you can actually see when they're like the campaign's in progress. When they actually deliver the content, it'll go in the deliver status. And then when they post the content, unless it's UGC, then if once they give you the file that you want to use, then that's completed. But if it's like somebody that you're paying to promote your platform on Instagram and TikTok, then once they go live and they follow the directions that you guys agreed on, then now it's completed, and then they get paid 2 days after. And then we also have another feature with campaign management. So you can track how many clicks they got back for you, when it came to
Mm.
your campaign. So let's say that they promoted like a product and that you gave them a tracking link, which we do create tracking links in the platform as well. Then you can see like, oh, okay, this person got me 100,000 views and 70 comments and 120 shares. And they also got me 1,500 clicks. Now you can see like, okay, if you got 1,500 clicks, like, did that turn into something? Like, did
Yeah,
that turn into a new sign up? Did that turn into a new listener? Like, whatever it may be. But the point is, like, you can make a data driven decision to see if you want to keep working on with them, because now maybe if they gave you that much good data, then maybe you could set up a long-term collaboration with them, and that benefits both the brand and that
yes,
benefits the influencer, because now they might have a retainer. But the whole point is to make data driven decisions and then teach small businesses how to make decisions with data. So we have office hours and virtual one-on-one sessions with brands every single month, depending on the package that they choose. When they're actually on our platform. If they just buy the tool, they can join our office hours. But if they're like in a managed service, then we set it up for them. We do everything for them. Or if it's a hybrid service where they don't pay for us to do the service for them, but they do pay for our consulting, then we have a package like that as well available too for brands. So
it's
we
amazing.
really help small businesses especially set them up for success. And we're not like one of those people that are like, hey, here's the tool and you're not educated on it.
Right.
Now that just covers the feature side. That's not including the community side that comes with our platform, because we do have events, and like I said, the office hours. We send a lot of emails to make sure we give people strategies as well, both influencers and as well as brands, so that way they can know like what a good campaign looks like, how to find a convertible campaign, how to search TikTok for a really good campaign in your competitor space. And then we keep getting feedback from them so we can add more features to our platform too. So yeah, there's like a lot of, honestly, it's a lot of features compacted in that
Mhm.
$99 a month tool. Like I always tell people, you get it while it's still $99 a month, because
Yeah.
we could
I
easily
know
be
that's
charging
right.
$400,
With the price going
So
up.
yes, because the price will be going up, to be honest.
Mhm.
But right now we're just trying to get it as many small businesses' hands, so we can keep getting feedback, so that way we can
Mhm.
know that we're building like the best tool for a small business to get popular.
And I love that you said that, because a lot of the reviews was the creators feel safe. They feel like the
Mhm.
onboarding process, is really helpful to them. Like, how do you maintain that? Like, it sounds like there's so many, pieces to the application that you have to deal with.
Mhm.
How do you do it? How are
Yeah.
you ensuring all these things? Because you have
Right.
rave reviews on
Yeah, I think it's just honestly like just talking to your customers. Like, I don't make anybody big or small feel like they're not
it.
welcome to give feedback. I actually tell people that, we'll give them a extended free trial, or we'll give them half off their first month if they
Mm,
give me feedback, because now I'm making you really touch different parts of the application, and you're giving me feedback that I honestly don't have a product manager for. Because I can personally, look at the platform and say, okay, like we need to fix this or we need to fix that. But
right.
your customer is the one who's going to tell you, what to fix. And last year when I had got my first investor, they flew me to Amazon Web Services in DC, and I got to speak with some higher ups there, because Amazon is one of the most amazing companies in the world because they listen to customers, and that's how they've been
Yeah.
able to pivot from literally an online bookstore is how Amazon started to what they
Mm-hmm.
are now. They have a cloud program, they have all these warehouses, the shipping, like all courier services, like they have mastered the pivot. And I feel like if we have access to learn how to to really master the pivot as Black founders, then we're going to really increase our own, capital, social capital too.
Yeah.
So I just really have learned how to get product feedback and then make quick changes. I'm a person that I'd rather fail faster. Like let's hurry up and fix it. Let's hurry up and,
Right.
address the issue, and we'll perfect it later. But at least it's getting
Mhm.
addressed and people feel heard. So that's how we typically are able to get good reviews and keep people on there. And if even the people that leave, they don't leave because they don't like the product. They leave because they realize maybe their business not where it needs to be for
Right.
influencers, and they'll just take a
Mm.
pause and they'll come back to the product when they fix their website or they fix their social media, whatever it may be. But we offer these as one-off services now where we're like, well, if you need help with your social media, then we will help you. Instead of spending money on the product tool for
Mhm.
the month, we'll just put that towards someone help you with your social media, because our platform has
It's
social
amazing.
media managers on there, it has photographers on there, it has content creators on there, like it has everything you need to be successful. So it's like you don't have to leave, we can still help you. We'll just find the best creator on here to help you with that specific service. So that's what I mean, like we're all in one platform, because since we have over 30,000 registered creators on the platform itself, and that's not including the database of
Mhm.
creators on there now,
Wow.
we have access, even directly, where we can just give a call to a creator on the platform and connect them with the brand that needs help, whether it's an audit, whether it's like some kind of brand kit. Like we have
Mm-hmm.
connections to some of the best, Gen Z marketers on the platform, as well, because of past collaborations.
Nah,
Yes,
that's
that
really
is amazing.
dope. And I was gonna follow back on like the features that you had mentioned
Mm-hmm.
earlier. So which features do you feel that creators love the most as of right now within your
I think
feature?
so. As far as creators, I think that their
Mhm.
favorite feature now was always the gig board, because it just allows people to
Mhm.
find opportunities like in the creator economy. However,
Mhm.
I already know what their next favorite feature is going to be, because we're rolling out the reverse pitch feature. So, and going into October, we're having an Afro Tech event, and we're launching our new feature for the reverse pitch, where basically you come on after you finish onboarding, or you update your
Mhm.
onboarding, because the update will force you to update it. It'll get your information and pair you up. It'll show you all these logos of brands that would be a perfect fit for you to pitch on the platform. So you'll get
Yeah.
like a few brands per month directly into your dashboard to pitch, and we'll also send a recommendation of what's how to pitch it, because we know what they're looking for. We know your budget, we know the kind of influencers you're looking for, the kind of content that would be winning. So we'll have the all that set up on the other side, where influencers, when they sign up, they'll just already see people that they should pitch right away, because they're actively looking for creators. And the reason I'm doing that is because it kind of like I want to decrease the time to book a creator. So if a brand knows what they're looking for and an influencer is willing to provide that, then
Mhm.
that's going to get the booking faster, right? And we want to get our
Right.
booking
Yeah.
rates up. So that's going to be a really good feature, because when we had our last three creative events, that was something that they kept voting for. And that's another reason why, like, having these events and being community oriented, we're easily able to find our next hot feature, because we're talking to
Mhm.
the people on the platform, so we're not making like guessing like what should be the next best feature. They're literally telling us what they want. So in order to access that, they have to be a member of Gem Social. So they have to be on our they just have to be a member, but they have access to that as well as other tools to make them a better creator. So we're gonna have tips on there on a dashboard where you have a checklist of things to do every month. So that might be
Perfect.
updating your shot list, updating your content quality, figuring, up making sure that you are getting more followers per month, because our our tool starting next week is going to show when your followers have dropped. Brands need all this information to
All
see,
the info.
if you're worth this $5,000 rate that you say that you
Right.
charge, like, but you have a
Oh,
declining
okay.
following and a declining engagement rate and stuff. So like that, it just makes it more negotiable. And it's not to say people don't deserve to make the money that they're asking for, because they might just make good content, but maybe you should only just make, charge for UGC rather than, the promotion of it. Because if it's not going to
Right.
convert to any kind of clicks, then the brand is just not going to, the brand's just not going to want to work with you. So just again, it's funny because I was just talking to another follower that, not follower, founder, that, the quality standards on the application it's really important, and that's what we're focusing on. Like, how can we make influencers like prepared the most for campaigns? And also, how can we make brands very clear with campaigns? So that's like what we're focusing on for the rest of the year, especially during the holidays when people are out and on vacation and,
Right.
with their family and stuff. Like, we'll be able to take those last few weeks to really fine tune all the quality standards. So that way, as we go into 2026, we really like, have even larger campaigns that we're preparing for, to
Mhm.
spend our money and dollars on, to get more, bookings going through the marketplace. So yeah, like I would say, that's their favorite feature. But as far as the brand side, their favorite feature is literally the influencer finder tool, because you literally get to access millions of influencers. But starting in October, you can access influencers on Snapchat, OnlyFans. Like, I mean, you can
Oh,
do it
wow.
all, which helps, with the other brands that are super niche that don't have the access to finding the kind of influencers they need, because we
That they
can't
look for,
we
yeah.
can't not include, this OnlyFans is going to really help us attract sex brands, so the
Yeah.
brands that are very sex positive and stuff, and they don't have, the access to finding people who are more sex positive. Well, that's
Mhm.
OnlyFans girls though. So now,
Right.
they'll have access to that. They'll also have access to more Gen Zers on Snapchat, because that's another revenue driver that people, don't really think about for brand
Right.
awareness as well.
Right.
LinkedIn is coming out as well with the API, so we're going to be able to use LinkedIn as well. So the access to these other social networks as well is going to help increase our price of the tool, where we'll have another subscription available for like $2.99, I believe. And yeah, actually no, it's going to be $1.99 as a beta
Okay.
price, and then $2.99 when the price goes up. But that's
Mhm.
awesome, because a bigger brand might be like, you know what, I need access to all this stuff, so I'd rather just
Right.
pay for it.
Go full
So that's
force.
great.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
it's
Right. That,
amazing. And that
that
creates a
price.
long-lasting, trustworthy brand. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
love
and
That
that.
is dope.
it
You
creates
guys
a
have.
new revenue line for us, because
Mhm.
like there are a lot of brands out here with spending money, that
Mhm.
sell, sex toys or cannabis products or hemp or
Mhm.
CBD, and we'll have more access to those influencers that aren't actively maybe on TikTok
Mhm.
and Instagram, but they're on these other, more niche based platforms that can drive you sales too, in that space. So that's the cool thing, because we're hitting a market that a lot of people aren't trying to touch, and that's going to be great for our revenue.
Yeah, for sure. All of those shadow banned accounts that, yeah, your
Hmm.
product can't really be on. I had a few.
Yeah,
Yeah. As I
So
said,
it's,
you know.
yeah, we know a few
Gonna
of
send them
them.
your way.
So that's great that there's a
hmm,
place where they can actually come and their products are being
yeah,
showcased and they can connect with like-minded people because they don't have a way to when the other applications are not allowing for them to showcase their material. So great
exactly,
things doing.
exactly.
Mhm. Now, you've built a platform that empowers both brands and creators. Who
Mhm.
empowered you in the early stages of this journey?
Yeah.
Mm, I would say, my friends. Like, I
Okay.
remember I was on a bus ride to New York, and I was just talking about, I was really frustrated. It was brunch, and I just had a mimosa. So I was already just going ready to yap. And my homegirl just was like, girl, just start building it. Like, you have everything you need to build it. You just need to build it. And I was like, "Ugh, you're so right." And I literally like went back home to I was visiting Philly at the time, because that's where I'm from. And I went back to Philly and was like, I'm gonna just go to WeWork tomorrow and just start building like at least a landing page and stuff. And I had got the landing page up. I started promoting it on Twitter. And yeah, like within a month, like there's over 500 people that were on the wait list
Um,
and were ready, to start, being on the app. And I love that because it just showed like this is something that people are looking for. So, and I ended up dropping it on Halloween as a beta a few years ago now, which is crazy because now this Halloween we're having an Afrotech event. Like that is
Yeah,
wild
yeah.
to me. And like that is wild to me. I didn't even think about that. Now it's thought, and now I'm motivated again. But yeah, like I just started building it, and I only had like $800 towards the app, like, and we got like thousands of users in a few months on the platform. And yeah, I would just say my friends, my friend ended up flying down and giving me flowers when the app got accepted into the app store, and
I love
just
that.
kept pushing me, and always pushing it to her friends in Brooklyn, and my other friend pushing it to her friends in Miami. And it just like my friends really just always have been super supportive, even if they didn't understand like what I was going through. And my
Mhm.
mom, for sure, my mom was like a super big supporter. She's definitely like paid for some stuff, like for her event, or like got, like put some $100 or $200 towards like a vendor table. And I
Yeah.
appreciate that because like again, like she has no idea what I'm doing. Like I'm sure I know she does not know how to talk about her daughter. Like she's 66 years old. So like,
Oh yeah.
but
So
she's
the
just like, yeah, like
application.
my daughter
Oh
is just like, yeah. She's like, yeah, my daughter has an app. Like, and I'm just like, yeah,
yeah.
great.
Like,
Like she's came to conference. She used to come to conferences with me and stuff. So like, just that level of support, does go a long way because it's like a really lonely journey. And but like it's a fun journey. So I mean, I really appreciate that. And at this point it's like my community. Like people are always rooting for me. I like can go to like the most random place and people will run into me. Like I was at a Cleo Soul concert in New York, and someone was like, "I'm on your app." And I was like, "Oh
That's
my God,
amazing.
like I'm gonna hook you up with a membership next month."
Yeah, yeah.
Like, just like it's always nice to like meet people that you don't know that's like on your app, and like they're like, "Yeah, look at my profile." And I'm like, "Go ahead, girl." Like,
That's
awesome.
amazing. No, having that community and support system is super important, especially like you said, it's lonely. And I kind of want to touch on that because you being a Black woman in
Yeah.
tech by itself, I'm in IT myself, doing
Yeah.
cybersecurity, but to create an app already,
Yeah.
we had
Mhm.
John Lester of BLAP on here, and he was kind of discussing his journey.
Mhm.
But you are in a field all your own,
Yeah.
and probably, you probably go into rooms and it's just you.
Mhm.
How does that feel? How do you get through it and stay motivated in those rooms?
Mhm. Yeah. I honestly feel good because like I've always been one to stand out. I was always a little
Mhm.
odd, to be honest, so I didn't care. Um I just I feel like I'm really living in my purpose, and whether I'm like
Mhm.
the only Black woman in the room, or or I'm one of many, like that hasn't really mattered to me because like the point is like Black people need more ownership, whether it's in real
Yeah.
estate, whether it's in tech, whether it's in stocks. Like we just need to own more. And I've been saying this since my early 20s. I'm 29, like, so I'm finally about to hit 30. And I've been saying this all my 20s, like I need to own more stuff. Like I need my hands involved in more things. And it didn't start with tech. Like I started with real estate. Like I do own a few properties. And when I really ended up, going all in on this platform, I was thinking about, the generations to come, and like, this is going to be something that it's going to be passed down, like my equity in a product, my ownership of a product. So I always just
Mm.
think about like the bigger feature, because for a long time, there was this transition from Black women getting in tech. And I just had posted on TikTok, like, I love seeing Black women get in tech, but like we need to own more stuff,
Yeah.
own it, like not be the ones just working in it and being capped at six figures. Like we need to own stocks, we need to own our own products. Like we need to see a problem, like in cybersecurity. You probably see tons of ways, or to improve something in cybersecurity and have the mindset to do it, right? Or even
Mhm.
having a podcast. That is still ownership of some kind of IP, because somebody bigger might want to buy you out and own
Right.
that. But we can't sell anything we don't own. So for me, like I always think about that because it's also going to help give other women, access in the future when they see that somebody that looks like them did that, and my goal is to have a VC when I sell my company. So right now I'm just really just living in my purpose. And I don't
Yes.
really give a damn if I'm in that alone, because like that's my story that I own.
Hmm.
And yeah, I'm never gonna be uncomfortable being like the only one that looks like that in that space. Like if anything, that makes me feel like I'm doing exactly what I need to do.
Yeah. So you can bring others into it as well. And that's amazing that you are
Exactly.
spearheading that, and so confident in what you do, because that's really what we need. So I appreciate you walking into your calling, and definitely many blessings are coming from it. Like you said, this October will be your Afro Tech event,
Yeah.
from
Yep.
just you starting it. So moved quickly, and you really put all of your confidence behind it. What is a win that felt small to the outside world but meant everything to you personally?
I would say when I won my first grant last year, it was last
Mm.
February. It was literally like the end of February, like a week and a half before my birthday. And it was like $3,000, but like it was the first time I won a grant for a gem. And it was before I ever
Yeah,
raised. But if someone else, I mean, there has been people that downplayed it, because I remember saying to this other guy in VC that I just won this grant and was super excited. And I remember he was just like, "Oh, that's all." And I just was like, like, hater.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I want
Like
a
how
grant.
difficult it is.
And I
Yeah,
don't care if it was 3,000
yeah.
or 30,000. Right. Like winning a pitch competition is not easy. It wasn't
No.
about the money. It was the response, in the
Hmm.
crowd. It was like hundreds of people there. We're in the middle of Miami. I just beat like three other founders who actually raised money. So yeah,
Oh
like that
yeah,
was a big
big
deal to
deal.
me.
Yeah.
And that put a fire behind me. Yeah, it put a big fire behind me. And then I ended up getting a free conference ticket and having my first vendor table at a major conference in Miami, and got a lot of, traction there. So that was another thing. And it just spun off to one thing after another. And every 2 months, it just was another opportunity. So, like, it was a grant. Then I had, because of the grant, I had got into the conference and got to pitch there as well. And then from there, about 2 months later, I got an introduction to a VC that invested in my space. And like 4 weeks later, they called me. They said they wanted to invest, and they cut me a check for 120,000. And
Bless
boom,
it.
now I'm in the middle of New York at BaddyCon talking. Now I'm in
Yeah.
DC meeting up with Amazon Web Services, being mentored. And then I'm in San Francisco for Tech Week. I mean, my whole 6 to 8 months was just awareness and meeting people and traveling. I mean, all the time. I barely had time for myself. I couldn't even remember that I had just moved to Houston, because I was always gone. And
Right.
like I just that was it. But it all started with winning a grant. And this is why I be telling people, like, before you even start building the product, like, please work in your confidence, because so many people are going to try to tear you down. Like, if I like really had felt some type of way that I didn't win enough money, or oh, he thought that I didn't, I didn't win enough, so maybe my idea is not all that, or all the
Yeah.
people that said like Gem's
Mhm.
never going to make it and stuff. Like, I just can't imagine if I would have let those people talk me out of my dream. And that's
Yes.
like a common issue with founders. But that little moment, helped me get where I am today, because I stayed consistent and I never gave up, and I never let people just like talk me out of something I wanted. Like, because who are you to have that much access in my life? So
Yes.
yeah, like that meant the
Mhm.
world to me, not only because I won, but because I also did not care about what anybody else had to say about
Yeah.
my wins, because they're mine. They're mine, not
Hmm.
Right.
yours.
Nobody else is
And
but yours. And I'll tell you that grants are really hard to come by. You will get so
Grants.
many people.
Right, exactly.
Funding
And
in
and and
general.
I actually just won. I went back to that same place and won a grant again in June. So it's like,
That's
because now, because once you win one from that same spot, you start thinking, okay, maybe I should keep coming back. Like, because it's like I just won $4,000, and that helped me build some more cool tools, and it's equity
yeah.
free. And
yeah.
I know people want investors and stuff, but like nowadays, because of how you can build products, like you can save a lot of money on development. I just put it into a bunch of marketing. Like I was,
Yeah.
getting promoted on some big pages and stuff. And
Yeah.
I just put it all into awareness. So yeah, like that little, $3,000
Mhm.
got me to the next step. So yeah, that meant a lot to me, even though in the outside world it probably was like, oh yeah, whatever, it's just a grant. Well, This grant helped me get where
Look,
I am today. So
Try it,
absolutely.
okay? Because
And tried it.
honestly,
mhm.
Look, and
it
tried
takes
it.
a lot.
Yeah,
No, I love that you spoke about confidence. I was actually having a conversation about that today on just like, really most of this, 90% of it is just what you believe, and sometimes even being a little delusional for yourself at the
yeah.
time, because people want to bring you
I'm
back to
very
what their
delusional.
reality is, Yeah, because it's their reality or what they limited themselves with. So it's like, where does your confidence come in and you actually boost yourself?
Exactly.
Thank you for speaking on that.
Exactly. When people try to humble me, it cracks me up when
Mhm.
people try to humble me because they want me to understand how they look at life.
Yeah.
And I'm like, babes, we're not in the same bracket. Like, I'm
No, that's
delusional. You don't have to bring me back to life. I'm fine.
right.
No, we were literally
I'll
saying
stay
that's where
right
we need
here.
to be. Yep.
The Lulu is the Salulu. That's what my sister was saying earlier. The Lulu is the Salulu. It really is because
It is.
anything is possible. Anything is possible.
Mhm.
It is. I'm a living testimony.
No, seriously, especially with you building something from scratch, from an idea. And I know a lot of people wanted to tear that down because we have these major platforms already. So it's always
Hmm.
like, well, someone's already doing that, or why would we need, directory for something that we can see every day? And it's like, look at how it started. You're tweeting it, you're
Exactly.
like, look, here it goes, like what will come, and it's actually happening for you. With that, what advice
Exactly.
would you give someone sitting on an idea they're too scared to start?
I would say, just honestly, like, just start small. If you're scared to
Mm.
start, is likely because you're scared to fail. But if you at least start small and see the potential in it, you'll start feeling a bit like drawn to doing more with it. I didn't go all in right away. Like, I built the landing page and then I put it out there. And then when I saw people signing up, it gave me, that fire in me to then move to the next thing, which was, okay, well, now I'm going to find a co-founder. And even though, like, I don't have him anymore, it was, pivotal in the beginning because I just needed some advice on more technical related things. And then after that, then I ended up looking for, the right platform to build it on, which was Flutterflow back then, a no code platform. And then I built it enough to where I could, but the parts that I didn't understand, I outsourced it. So I
Mm,
only, I put a budget together. I said, I'm going to only spend $2,000 on this just to see if this is worth it. And I got
mm,
$800 towards the developer, got the domain name, got the Apple developer license and the Google Play license. Like, I just started getting things one by one.
yeah,
And next thing we're like meeting every week and seeing, more of the app. And I think that's what changes the game is when people actually see it. And it might
yeah,
not be an app, it might be a service that you might want to start, it might be a clothing line, whatever it may be. But when you are in the process of seeing something like realistically being built,
Yeah.
for your business, like, it really is motivating because it's like, this is yours. Like, this is yours. And I just kept getting fired up. So I would say, like, just start small. You don't have to like spend tens of thousands of dollars or get a loan or something. Like, just start small, start pitching, start going to pitch competitions, because it's also a sales driver. Like, your next
mm,
customer might be right in front of you because you just pitched an awesome idea and now they want to sign up for your beta list, and
mhm,
and then joining communities. So, like, if you're building a tool to help, I don't know, Pilates studios, get more clients or whatever, then start going to events where Pilates, instructors and stuff are at, or, wherever you can meet those people so you can get their feedback. Because, like, if you're building community around something that you're building yourself, well, now you have easy way to get feedback. You have an easy way to get customers, and you also have an easy way to get referrals going, because if you
yeah,
build a good relationship with your customers, they're going to talk about you. Like, that's how we get more customers with Gem. We even pay people for customers because I'm a very easy person to get along with. Like, in
mhm,
business, like, not a lot of things can really piss me off. Now personally,
Mhm.
yes, but business wise, I've mastered the art of like just being a little bit more stoic and more happy, because I don't want people to ever feel like I'm too emotional for them to give me feedback about my product, because
Right.
I want to hear
Mhm.
it. So when people understand, like, nah, Bree does not play about Gem. Like, if I tell her, this is a good way to improve it, she will consider it and actually like prioritize it and fix it. So like, and we have good customer service. Like, we get back to people, we always give people tips. Even if they come fall off of the subscription, we're still inviting them to events. We're still sending them whatever ways to help their business. So like, just like showing that level of like charisma and your customer
Mhm.
service is going to always get people talking about you. But yeah, I would say start small, because it's going to become so big. And I can, if I started small, like even smaller than I
Mhm.
did, back then, like I probably would have been a little bit more granular in the product. So that's why I always tell people, like, don't try to put out so many features right away. Like, just start with the main feature, or even for a
Yeah.
service,
Mhm.
like just start with the main service. Maybe for you it's like auditing your security in your product. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
it could just be something very small and minute that people don't think about, because that'll be like a good lead for the future of your product or service. So yeah,
Mm.
people just don't think about starting small anymore. People just want to go all in, and
Yeah, they
you're
will
gonna drive
start right
yourself crazy.
away.
Instant gratification seems to be
Hmm.
a thing
Yeah,
nowadays that everyone seems to be chasing, is that instant gratification.
yeah,
And I know
and
you
it's
dropped
because
a
of
lot of
social
knowledge.
media.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because it's a facade. It's a facade, and so
Yeah,
people see it and they feel like, okay, well, they don't know the background story. Like, if a creator looked at your profile and said, oh, you know what, she got all this overnight, not knowing your entire story, know that it took you some time, it took you some grit,
yeah,
integrity, time to build your ad. But they see
yeah.
what you post on it, like, you know what, she's living a life, she's living real good. I bet she got that overnight. Like, but
Hmm.
it takes a lot of grit. It
It,
takes a lot of work.
people especially be cutting up. I had just moved into my condo, and this girl was like, "Man, you're so lucky. Like, you're in your 20s and you're doing this." And I was like, "Little girl, what
Nope.
about when I was just living with my mom?
Yep.
With my friend? Like, what about when I was in the Airbnb in the ghetto? What happened to those things?
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this is all new. This is all new.
Mhm.
Like, this is just hard work and consistency, and also, like, Gem is not my only business.
Yeah.
Like, people forget that too. People totally forget I have a consulting firm. Totally forget that I own 4 properties. Like, they just think it's just Gem, and like, oh, Gem just blew
Mhm.
up. And no, that's not even that. Gem, I don't
Yep.
even pay myself with Gem. I pay myself with my other stuff, my other products and services, and I let Gem
Mhm.
reinvest on its own, because Gem is my long-term investment. My long-term investment idea is that the Gem's going to get bought, and that's when I'll make money. Just like when I
Mm.
buy and hold properties. So
Mhm.
I might get, yeah, I get paid rent payments and stuff like that. But like, I might make what,
Yeah.
$100 or $200 here, and then then I got to fix something with the house, and
Yeah, you
boom, I lost the
reinvest it.
profit. So
Yep.
Right.
like,
Yeah.
it's not that different with the platform, where yeah, okay, we made thousands this month, or maybe we made tens of thousands this month, or whatever. But if we had to fix a bunch of stuff, then we didn't profit all the way. So we're entering our profitable year, which is great. But also, like, people just think like, tech founders are just so rich and stuff. And I'm like, not when you're getting started, especially as a
Mhm.
startup. So
It's an
people just crack me up.
investment.
But it's an investment just like anything else. And that's why
Yes.
it cracks me up when people, are just so like deeply into other people's lives, because I'm like, you don't even understand or know that particular thing is just their like lead generation. Like, that's not what they're making a bunch of money on. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, that's why I tell people, like, they just need to literally mind the business that pays them, because
That
they'll
pays them.
understand, you know,
Literally
the they'll
that.
understand when they actually start building it,
Right.
and they'll see how hard it is.
No, you're right. And for our creators, and even someone out there that is a brand and they're listening in today, and they can only remember one thing about Gym Social, or even
Mhm.
about your story, what should it be?
Mm.
I would say that, just like how I tell these founders to start small, same thing with creators. Like, y'all should start small. Yes, you can start with your iPhone. You don't have to buy that DJI Osmo Pocket, and you don't have to buy that like professional camera. I think that a lot of creators convince themselves that they need to buy something before they start making content as an excuse to just not do it at all. And I can easily spot somebody who's going to be a really good creator just by the fact that they're willing to be consistent, and it doesn't matter if it's on their phone. And because consistency, practice makes perfect. So they'll see like, okay, I missed out on doing this, so I'm going to add this, or I didn't add the trend in audio, so I'm going to do that. Like they're going to learn more and more why and how to go viral. And I watched even my own friends do it, who I never thought was going to get into content, and now I'm seeing them getting booked for different things, right? And outside of Gem. So it amazes me because those are the same people who just are using their iPhones and just maybe good lighting, but that's it. So start small, start with what you have and see how far you can get with it, because then maybe once you get those two paid deals, and can afford the camera, now upgrade it. But if you don't know how to use the device that you're on for most of your day, you're not going to know how to use the camera.
Say that.
That entire part.
Yeah.
We have had an iPhone for a long time. So if you don't know how to find a good angle on your iPhone, I'm not that confident you're going to find it on the Osmo Pocket.
But true.
Sorry, it's not funny, but it's true. It's so true. You got to learn.
Like, who's going to tell you? Working with you got. That's what makes you creative. That's the whole point of being a creator, is that you're working with what you have. Some people be like, oh, I'm not going to make content until I move into my apartment.
Yeah.
I'll wait.
So we're gonna ignore the sunlight that God gave us, the like maybe even some spaces to maybe even go to nearby, like shooting at there's just so many places. Even you could shoot in your car. You could just get in your car and start talking about the topic you want to talk about. Like, girl,
Exactly.
I'm so tired of this, and this. I'm going to start using Bioma as my skincare. Or I woke up with this, and this. I'm going to start using this medicine because I don't want to use ibuprofen. Like, you can literally make content about anything, anywhere, So I just be telling people, like, if you're really a creator, you're going to get creative.
A bar. Hold on. Yes.
Oh my
I gotta. If you are a creator, you will be creative, honey.
Exactly.
No, Brittany, you want me to ask the question?
You already know. You gotta ask it. Here we go.
Okay, so we're about to wrap up here, but we want to ask you this really important question. So your life up until this point, I forgot it, Brittany. You gotta help me.
If you could write a memoir of your life thus far, what would the title be and why?
Yes.
If I could write a memoir, oh, that's so.
The life up until this point, what would the title be and why?
That's a good question, because I would love to have a movie about my life. What would it be called?
You can and will.
Yeah. What would it be called though? That's so crazy, because like I'm like, what would it be called? Like, because it gotta be some fire.
Yeah.
It really needs to be. It really needs to be something fire. Like, wow, shit. It might just have to be called some fire for real at this point. Like,
yes.
because I always say, like, man, that's fire. Or like, nah, like I gotta build something fire. Like, I can't build no whack shit. Like, it might just have to be that. But that's crazy. Like, because I never, I never think about titles first. I always think about like what's it gonna be about, and then I always come up with some like a title later. Like, it's like how like artists, write a song and then they finally come up with the title. So I don't know. I think maybe once I start writing the movie, then I'll get back with the actual title, because I did talk to someone who's like super interested in making like a small documentary. So yeah.
Yes. Some fire. I love it.
I think I'm just gonna call it Some Fire.
We are creating
I love
some fire. There we go.
Yes.
Always. And thank you
Most
so much for
certainly.
your time today, Bree. It has been an
Mhm.
absolute pleasure learning about your platform, and of
Yep.
course your story behind it and how we've gotten to this place. We are going to wrap up, just give you your night back, but we just want to thank you so much for joining us and give you your
Yeah.
flowers because you are honestly doing something
Man.
amazing and you're so innovative. And we are just, sending you all the blessings for this to continue to grow. So we want to thank you and let you give our audience where you can be
Mhm.
found, how they can reach
Yeah.
you. Of course, Afrotech, we want to know all of it.
Yes.
For sure. Yeah. So you can totally follow me on Instagram or LinkedIn, TikTok. It's Bree Fleming. So it's Bree and then Flemings. Fleming's like the steakhouse. And yeah, our Afro Tech event. We're solidifying all the details, but it should be that Monday during Afro Tech Week, October 27th. I'll also be at CultureCon. So if y'all are going to be at CultureCon in New York,
Mhm.
I will definitely be there, present, and I'll be speaking in Detroit at the end of this month at Black Tech Saturdays. So
Okay.
yeah, really excited.
All right. Where will Afrotech be? What city?
It'll be in Houston.
Oh, yeah, because we can be there. All
Right.
right.
It's
Well,
right
look,
here in
where
San
are y'all
Antonio.
based?
We're in San
Where are y'all
Antonio.
San
based?
Antonio.
Oh, y'all are actually not too far from this other conference that became our client called Social Fest. So
Special
I'll be
Fest.
speaking there in November. So I'll send y'all
Okay.
tickets to that one.
Yes, for sure. We will definitely
Nice.
be there. Well, thank you everyone for
Yes, them
joining us
both.
for another exciting episode of Sister Soul Sessions. We had an amazing, enlightening experience here with
Mhm.
Bree. Please join Jim Social so that you can
Please.
find your creativity, find your brand, find your marketing, and of course, find your presence here on this wide web that we have. I want to thank you so much. Go ahead, B. You can do your outro.
Again, I just want to say you are super dope. Nobody is doing what you're doing. We definitely want to always support you in whatever form
Mhm.
that may be in. And thank you so much for your time. We really do. Time is
Yes,
everything.
thanks for inviting me for sure. I had a good
Yes.
time.
Thank you so much. You guys have a
Thank
wonderful
you.
night. Hit us again next week for Sister Soul Sessions. You guys have a wonderful, blessed night. Good night.
Good night.
Bye.